This interview is for information only and should not be considered as investment advice or a recommendation to buy shares in the company featured. Welcome to this Stock Box interview.
Joining us today is Rolf Geritsen, the CEO of MetalNRG. Thank you very much for your time today. Rolf, how are you doing?
Very well, Mark. Thanks for your time.
Well, thank you very much for coming on. Of course, last year, 2022, was dominated really most of the year by these legal issues that are, of course, ongoing between the company and Brit Energy. There's a number of cases going on. So I don't know if you want to give us a bit of a snapshot of where that is and then sort of set out the plans really for 2023.
Yeah, look, in terms of 2023, the three core elements of our focus this year is: one, wrap up the legal processes; two, advance Goldridge; and three, further develop our partnership with EQTEC. But let's break that down a little bit and develop it a little bit more. So in terms of our legal issues, they started in autumn 21 and have been ongoing, as our investors are probably well aware of. We've been engaged in litigation with a former director, and those, again, that follow us will know that we, from the very beginning, had a very clear plan, very clear strategy that we implemented with force and with resolve. And that's, in my opinion, paying dividends. It's getting us to a position where we have won in Scotland, we have won in London. The former director has withdrawn his latest case that was in December, and agreed to pay both the directors and the company's legal costs on those elements, on that particular element. So we are moving forward, and this year will be very much about hopefully wrapping that up and tying the loose ends, dealing with the various appeals that we're going through from his end. And as I said, the real focus there is to wrap up the legal processes this year and put that behind us. But at the same time, we are progressing on other elements. So Goldridge, for example, we are very keen to progress it and are working to do so. If you recall, about 3 years ago, when we issued the prospectus, we said we would spend about £500,000 on Goldridge, and the objective was to determine and understand and develop a better understanding of the geological structures within the overall system. And we've done that, and we've done it by spending less, because we were fortunate by finding some additional data which previously had not been found. But we spent £350,000 on it, and we've progressed that. We now have a well-defined roadmap towards possible production, and we are taking the next step. So there's some more geological sampling that needs to be completed. We then move to trenching. We then move to drilling. And I'm sure that people will recall that on our last findings with regards to Goldridge, they were extremely encouraging, in that we found new gold anomalies, silver, copper, zinc, and lead, all in areas that had previously not been explored, neither by us nor by others. So finding confirmation that there are new gold, silver, etc. anomalies in the area is very encouraging and exciting. In fact, the geologists have said some of the indications would possibly lead to them believing the possibilities of porphyry systems at Goldridge. So there's a very, very exciting possibility with Goldridge that we are seeking to develop, and that will be one of the key operational aspects that we'll be working on over the next 12 months. And last but not least, we've also got a very good working relationship with our business development partnership with EQTEC. We committed to getting the Italian waste to energy plant into operation. That's been delivered. the unit will be producing revenue for the Italian SPV as of this year. And we are looking at refinancing the project so that MetalNRG can maintain the same level of equity investment in the project, but recover some of the shareholder loans, which was the mechanism by which we invested. So I think once we get that done, we've got a test case for EQTEC of how the business partnership works, both financially and operationally, and we can build on that with other identified projects within that business development partnership. So again, I'd say very possible, exciting prospects there as well.
Okay. Just on the legal issues, Rolf, I appreciate it may be a little bit hard to give a date, but you say this year. Are you hopeful first half, second half? Can you have any idea when they all might be put to bed?
Yeah, we're hopeful that it's the first part of the year.
Okay. Well, you mentioned that you went through EQTEC there, and that's good that sounds like that's going to be actually producing revenue this year, and you're going to look at refinancing to recover some of the loans. So that will be de-risking that project for MNRG, bringing some cash back into the business. Goldridge, though, you've talked there about looking to get into early production, trenching and drilling. Is the company in a position to finance these kind of activities?
Well, as you correctly pointed out, we're hopefully working on the finalization of the refinancing of the project in Italy with EQTEC. That would bring in funds to MetalNRG. Part of those funds could be used to progress Goldridge. So there's definitely a portion of money that will be allocated to Goldridge from that part. If you go back to the legal cases, there's a judgment out that says the defendants have to pay us just north of $1 million. They've paid less than half of it. There's another 560,000 due to be received once all the appeal processes are complete. Again, a large portion of that money will be spent on Goldridge. So there are mechanisms in place to make sure that we can fund these projects without having to go to market. On top of that, we are ongoing in our search for a possible partner to help us develop Goldridge, and that's an ongoing process to see if we can find someone who will work with us on an earning basis. So we'll see how that all develops, but the funding and the mechanisms to generate funding to progress the projects is currently there, and we're optimistic about securing those.
Okay, so revenue hopefully then from EQTEC and money coming back from the legal cases, which will then help fund the ongoing work at Goldridge. I know there are other projects in the portfolio that are perhaps periphery. I don't know if you're looking at getting other projects involved in the company this year, Rolf, or just generally looking at a bigger picture of any kind of broader plans?
Yeah, there's ongoing processes that we're looking at projects. There is an ongoing process with EQTEC to look at additional projects once we've demonstrated how Italy works and how the whole concept works and demonstrated the way that works financially. And ideally, there's a further project there. And then we're looking at other projects as well to see what could be brought in. But it needs to meet our criteria. It needs to be relatively close to revenue earning, and it needs to be an exciting project. So we're always looking out for projects, and we continue to filter through a number of projects on an ongoing basis.
Okay, well, thank you very much for giving us that update there, Rolf Geritsen, the CEO of MetalNRG. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programs at stockboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.